Hello, I'm Dr. Kill, a relation to Dr. Light.
Yes, and I'm Corn in the Bible, I guess. People call me different things, but...
Yeah, and we're here to play Ocarina of Time incorrectly. So,
what are you
today
talking about? This all seems pretty normal to me.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be handling Jabu-Jabu, and as with the rest of the LP, we're going to be doing it, the wrong way. I'm going to be doing it as an adult, and if you notice, when I went to adult, I had the fish again on my C right and 14 Deku nuts.
Right.
And that's to get specifically the boomerang on B.
Right, because you need the boomerang to do the dungeon, right?
Yeah, exactly. Baronade, the boss of Jabu-Jabu, cannot be killed without the boomerang. It's impossible.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, because you have to hit the... I forget what they are, but you have to hit them with the boomerang to be able to damage him, so...
Yeah, you have to hit his tentacles and then just to stun him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got it on B, and it works as an adult. I just showed it off. The weird thing is that, while it's in his hand, it's invisible.
But then it shows up afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I did mention it at one point. Adult items and child items on the other version of Link tend to be invisible for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, it's something they never tested, so... But it's weird that they work, they just don't have the proper model, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's good that... I'm surprised that... Because a lot of the adult and child items, if you put them on the wrong one, it crashes the game, right? But
for some of them,
the boomerang.
Not the boomerang. The hookshot will crash if it's on a child. But, okay, so I skipped a little bit ahead to Zora's Domain. I'm actually be doing a little bit before we go into Jabu, just a quick thing to show off.
Mm-hmm.
I showed that you could get the Zora tunic as a child, but it was like too complicated to... Or it was just too tedious to actually work into the LP.
Right.
But
okay.
I still want the Zora tunic, but I'm going to still get it in a slightly different way. Turns out you can actually just go into the shop and buy it. I never opened up the shop with... Yeah, I never opened up the shop with Blue Fire, but there's an alternate way in.
Of course.
I just go out of bounds and hit the loading zone from the other side.
Nice. And they'll just sell it to you and it's fine?
Yeah, and this is actually completely legit. If I burned the red ice in front of the shop, I could just walk in and buy it. I just wanted to show off that you could get in another way.
I never knew that, because you can get it, through the game, so I've never bought it.
Yeah. You can actually buy the Goron tunic too, but you have to clip into the shop, and that's not supposed to happen. So, but I just want to show off, I wanted to get the Zora tunic so that we have all the tunics and stuff. But a funny thing is, too, because you're supposed to, well, I don't know if it's not supposed to, but you can get the Zora tunic from King Zora. He gives it to you right when you melt him out of the ice.
Yeah.
So if I talk to him when we already have the tunic, well, he can't give it to me. So he offers up an alternative prize for saving him.
Right.
So he's surprised that you have the tunic, and instead he offers you a kiss.
Oh, fantastic. That's a much better prize.
King Zora's offering you sexual favors.
Well, that's how the Zoras are. You know how they are.
Yeah. This is a funny thing that a lot of people don't know about. I definitely didn't know about it for a long time.
Well, yeah, I imagine most people, if they're playing the game, or not, even if they're not playing it legitimately, you would just get it from him if you're gonna get it, right? So...
Yeah. But, I skipped past it, clipped out really easily. That's a really easy clip as an adult. And now we're gonna actually have to get into Jabu-Jabu. And this is a pretty complicated trick, or a pretty tough trick. And it's the reason why I had to do Jabu-Jabu after I beat the Fire Temple. Okay. In order for me, the way I know how to get into Jabu-Jabu, I need to have infinite sword glitch. But if I have a boomerang on B, I don't have a sword.
So you have to have a hammer.
I use the hammer instead. So I needed the hammer in order to get into Jabu-Jabu, in order to finish it. So this is why I had to do it after Fire Temple.
That makes sense, yeah, because you have to have the boomerang to replace your sword. So there's no way to, get a boomerang working any other way as an adult, it's just that?
No, this is the only way. And what I'm going to be doing is, I made the Bombchu hit me as I sort of fell into that crevice here.
Right.
And I get a slight angle that's hard to see. It's a little tough to get this angle. And then I would let go of this Bombchu, another Bombchu, at a certain frame. And then a couple frames later, I'm pausing a lot because it's pretty necessary.
Okay.
A couple of frames after I drop the Bombchu, I roll. And at the end of the roll, I'm going to actually side hop, and the bomb's going to hit me at the same frame. And that causes that mega side hop that I've been doing a lot.
Okay.
And that gives you enough speed to shoot you through the geometry of the level and into the loading zone of Jabu-Jabu.
Okay, so it's still there, even though...
Yeah.
Why would it still be there, though? That's what I don't get. Is it a different...
Okay, so this is some of the thing that I don't know a whole lot about, but apparently, the way the game engine works is that there's no way to take out loading zones in this game. So in any area, this is something a Dish told me actually. The guest I had on episode 6, he said they can't really like turn off loading zones. They just have to. They're always where they're supposed to be, sort of something like that. So,
but it's a different map though, because like all the ice and stuff and everything. So I would have figured it would just.
No,
be...
it's the same map. It's just a different scene.
I don't know why you would make a game like that, but okay.
I don't know. Right there, I was actually showing off that I could actually go to the end of Jabu-Jabu right away. I have the boomerang already, so I could have just gone and beat the boss. But I still want to get the boomerang.
That kind of reminds me of I've been playing Link Between Worlds recently, and you can skip a whole bunch of puzzles if you just buy all the items first thing.
Yeah,
And
sort of.
It's really bizarre like that. But
It's handy.
it is handy, but it kind of makes a lot of the dungeons a little unnecessary, you know?
Maybe a little bit. So, here what I'm doing is if you have your shield on a climbable wall and get hit by a bomb, which none of that's supposed to ever happen, you enter a weird state of the game where there's normally a cutscene here where you talk to Rudo, but it's not triggering because I have this glitch triggered or glitch activated. It's a really weird glitch. It doesn't have too many uses, but it makes cutscenes not happen if I get hit. It ends the glitch, and you can see I just pop back to what happens where the cutscene happens.
So now adult Link and child Rudo are together.
Yeah.
See.
As is after her future version of herself was hitting on Child Link, so this is all kinds of weird time paradox.
That's true. But so after you do this, I mean, so there's no benefit to doing these. You're just doing them anyway, right? Because you've already got the gem from the bottle thing.
Yeah, well, I'm mostly just showing off that you can do it. That was sort of my goal here. If I... it's just to show that you can beat Jabu-Jabu as an adult using no cheats or anything. And that's just what we're here for. We're also here to get the boomerang, which, I mean, I have it on B, but I also want it in my inventory, just for, like, completion's sake. And, I'm actually talking to Rudo because there's no way to get the boomerang without her.
Because you have to... Yeah, that's right. I remember that. You have to take her around.
Yeah, there's a switch that's, like, unique to this dungeon. This is the only switch in the game where you need to have something over your head and step on the switch. And there's no boxes in that room, and I don't think they would work, but I'm not sure. But there's no boxes in there anyways.
They probably would, you know, considering.
Possibly. This is also just a funny thing, because I have the long shot in Jabu-Jabu that just makes everything easier. So I get these sculptures from all far away.
That's just ridiculous.
But yeah.
The long shot's really useful, you know, in this game.
It is. And something I actually learned yesterday, apparently there's some surfaces in Jabu-Jabu that have like a hookshot property on them. So it doesn't make they don't actually work as hookshot targets, but at one point they might have, like in development maybe. It might have been like a goal to come back here as an adult. I don't know. Very strange.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a lot of. It seems like from what Dish has been talking about that like they originally planned a lot more time stuff than actually made it into the game. So maybe you would like eventually be able to come back here as an adult. Originally.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that. That's why that's like a hint that it was at least worked on at some point. That there are parts of Jabu that have like a hookshot property to them, but it doesn't actually work. Like some other part of the wall makes it so that some other property of the wall makes it so that it doesn't actually work. I don't know, kind of weird.
But you can't hookshot to chest, which is kind of breaks a lot of puzzles.
Breaks a couple of things, especially when you do the weird shots that I've shown off where you shoot the camera out of bounds. That's usually pretty helpful for glitching around.
Yeah, of course.
Along with chests. But yeah, so I had to do all of this standard method pretty much. I got to skip that puzzle where you raise the water just because Adult Link is tall enough to just climb up that ledge.
Right.
But I still needed Rudo to hit that one switch.
Alright, so now you can get the boomerang that you already have.
And all I have to do is kill these things, and DQ Nuts make them very easy to kill because DQ Nuts are one of the best items in the game.
They are, yeah. They're really good in Majora's Mask too. They're just like so useful.
Actually, they're far less useful in Majora's Mask.
That's
honestly.
true, but there's because you have them like you keep getting them, so maybe they kind of figure you use them more.
I think they also just toned them down too. Like they specifically like nerfed them. I don't know. That's just my impression. But yeah, we got the boomerang.
Fantastic. So now you've got 2 boomerangs.
We got 2 boomerangs, but I can't equip that boomerang. I have to use this adult invisible boomerang.
Well, it's the principle. The principle is what matters.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's mostly what I was going to show off. I got the boomerang, I could go be the boss, but I decided to show off one other thing. So, there's a mini-boss in this dungeon, the big octo.
Yes.
Normally you're supposed to kill all the tentacles, and then you get rid of that green one right there, and then you fall down a hole to get up there. And then you have to kill like 4 tentacles, I think, to actually get that to work. But, we have a lot of tricks.
So I'm assuming that that's not what you're going to do.
No. I mean, I could, I have the boomerang, but
That's true.
instead, you can just hover right up there. It's super easy.
Okay.
And you can do this as a child, too. I just threw Rudo up there, because the ledge isn't that high. And then I just myself hover up there. And I could just pick her up. And then we skipped all the tentacle stuff.
And you're saying these are not things you're supposed to do in this game?
I think so. I don't know. I don't remember how to play this game any other way.
Yeah. It has been a while. Maybe this isn't what you're supposed to do. But...
Yeah, so this is also just a funny little weird property of this room, I guess. There's the Zor Sapphire right there.
Yes.
But that's like, it's not loading correctly right now. That stone is like always there. If you glitch into this room in a different way, that stone will be there. So I guess something about how I've done the dungeon means like it can't recognize that this cutscene is happening properly.
Is it just that you already have it, so it's not working right, or?
It could be that, or it could be that I'm an adult, or it could be that I skipped all the tentacles. I'm not really sure on that specifically. So I don't know, but kind of funny thing. But we're gonna fight the big octo, and it lets me talk about something kind of specific. So the big octo is normally a really easy fight, especially as an adult. If you just stun it with a Deku Nut and then do a Master Sword slash, that kills it. But I don't have the Master Sword. All I have is a hammer. Problem is, the big octo is not a nail and cannot be hurt with the hammer at all. So I found this out this time, right now. I didn't know this. So here's the thing. The hammer and the swords and the stick and stuff, they all have certain properties. Like a game could tell if it's a hammer swing or a sword slash. And the hammer just does not hurt the big octo at all.
Why would they do that?
It's just certain things it's so they can like have some weakness and stuff. I guess like Volvagia can only be hurt by the hammer.
Right, but it seems like, you're never supposed to have the hammer in there. Why would they make it not do any damage at all?
That might have just been a pure accident. I don't know, but I couldn't kill it with the hammer at all, so I had to just leave. But that's also kind of significant because Baronade also can't be hurt with the hammer.
Right.
But I still have the hammer. I'm going to use the hammer, and I'll explain it when I get into the boss room exactly why. But right now, I need to get through this door. Normally, you're supposed to put a crate and then walk to the door, but you have just enough time to roll to the door and open it.
Nice.
So you don't have to put the crate down. And in this room, you were supposed to climb up and hit that switch, but with a good boomerang toss, you can just hit it.
That's really nice.
Yeah, save some time. Again, that's not a glitch, it's just proper positioning.
Yeah, because you could do that, like, if you were just doing the dungeon normally, you could still do that.
Yeah, easily. But okay, so I entered... This is a sort of room separate from the rest of the dungeon. There's a loading screen and everything. And what happens is that sort of... now that we're in a new room, do you remember power crouch stabbing? I've talked about it a lot. In order for that... It takes the damage of the last attack you used, but if you haven't attacked yet, what does it use? So what happens is every time you go to a loading zone, that resets, and it resets to a default value.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, the default value for the power crouch stabbing is a 1 damage sword slash. So as long as I don't swing the hammer in any way, I can damage Baronade. As long as I only crouch stab.
As long as you only crouch stab.
Yeah, so this is how I have to damage him. If I swing it, then suddenly I can't hurt him anymore.
This is so dumb.
Yeah, because the power crouch stab does take sort of the properties or whatever. Like
so that means you can't do the infinite sword glitch, right?
No, as long as I don't do a swing, because the infinite sword glitch still uses a crouch.
Right.
It's just not necessary, so I don't need it. Funny enough, if I did lose it, if I did swing the hammer at any point, I still could have a backup way to kill Baronade. turns out there's enough pots in the room that you could throw a Baronade to kill him from full health. Those pots will damage him.
I actually saw someone do this fight a couple of weeks ago. I watched someone do it, and they got it up to the last hit, and then they just got rid of the boomerang and stabbed him, because at that point you might as well.
Yeah, I could have done that too,
Yeah.
but again, not necessary. I had the hammer.
Yeah. Alright, well, there we go. Dungeon complete.
Nope, we're done. And we're gonna this is sort of an unfortunate cutscene because it's where Burrito's talking about how she wants to be your wife or whatever.
It's perfectly
But
normal.
as an adult, it's all weird.
Stop looking at his crotch.
Yeah, he gets scrunched up and then his legs don't fall properly, or like his model doesn't fall properly. And I don't know, it's just so weird. And it's not super like hilarious when they're in the water, so I skipped through it, but it's still weird.
It's okay. It's alright.
And then he's holding up nothing. There's no Zora Sapphire.
Because you already got it.
I guess so. And then it puts you back like not right either, so I fall through the water a little bit. Very weird. Obviously not ever supposed to happen. And it's like something a lot of people don't ever see anyways, because unlike the other two dungeons, child dungeons, it takes a lot more effort to beat the Jabu. I have to get something on B.
Right.
So it's something you definitely don't see a whole lot. But, so we're already done with Jabu, but that's really short. Like, that would be half the length of, like, every other episode. So we're gonna do a couple of other stuff. A couple of other things. When you have something that's not a sword or a hammer on your B button, you can get the bottle on B back a lot easier.
Okay.
This is because of how the mechanics work. What I'm gonna do is, I'm going back in time as a child to the Forest Temple. We're gonna go back to the Forest Temple.
Okay.
So, was that?
I said, alright, yeah, okay. So,
Oh, okay.
you already beat the forest temple.
Yeah, but I only went straight to the boss room through clipping.
Right.
What I'm here for now is I'm gonna get the bow. I could have potentially gotten it before, but it would have been a lot more tedious. Even now it's kind of tedious to do. I just want to show off you can do it.
Well, that's usually the last item you get in a Zelda game. So.
Yeah, up till now I've been using a fake bow. As long as you have elemental arrows and a quiver, which I have both of those things, yeah, I could just shoot arrows. But I have a bottle in that slot, and I can still just open up the bow chest and it'll put a bow back on the slot. So I can use it just fine.
Alright.
Not all items work that way, but the bow does, so that's handy.
So in other cases, like, what would happen? Would it just not work,
So-
or...?
So with things like bombs, or the big one, if you put a bottle on them before you collect them, you can't ever get bombs normally. I don't know why. Bombs just works differently. I think a lot of the other stuff will work, but I know bombs specifically you can't have a bottle in that slot and then get bombs. Or something. I don't know. Or if you have the bomb bag, it doesn't work.
Okay.
There's like a weird interaction between like the bomb bag and then the bomb icon. Like if you remember, I don't know if you saw the bonus video, but if you get a bomb bag before you get bombs and you open up the bomb chest, you get that fake bomb bag.
Yeah, and if you have, like, the wrong thing, then you can only hold 20 bombs? Is that right? Which is kind of weird.
No, it's just the bomb bags you can put into your inventory. It's like you can only get there's only 30 and 40. Like those are the two that you can write into your inventory.
Right.
And then you can't like change from that basically. I don't know. But yeah, if you open up the bunch, you get a fake bomb bag, and that doesn't put your bombs back on the slot, so you just can't ever equip them normally. But I already have a quiver, but arrows doesn't do the same thing. I don't know why.
Okay. So, if
Very
you get
strange.
the bow, it'll all work fine then.
Yeah.
Alright.
And funnily enough, if you already have a quiver and you get the bow, normally when you open the bow chest, you get 30 arrows along with it. If you don't have a quiver, you don't get that. You get 1 arrow. I don't know why.
Because that's how many you can hold in one hand. You don't have a quiver.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
This is the tedious part. This room is really annoying as a child.
Yeah, I remember
As an
that.
adult, you can climb up a lot of this stuff easier, but as a child, I have to just hover everywhere.
It's kind of a drag.
This is why I saved it for now. Yeah, I just skipping through all the hovering because it's boring to watch.
A lot of the dungeons in Ocarina of Time are they're a little too long, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of climbing up ladders.
I mean, usually avoid that as an adult, or it's just a lot faster as an adult. As a child, it's just sort of, I don't know, exaggerated. what I was showing off there is that the eye switch that normally you're supposed to shoot arrows with,
Right.
or shoot arrows at. I could have used the slingshot too. Eye switches don't distinguish between arrows and slingshot seeds.
Okay.
A couple things don't distinguish, but for whatever reason these paintings do. The one you're supposed to, the Poe ones.
Right.
Normally you're supposed to shoot each of those with an arrow. You can't use slingshot seeds for that. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, so eye switches you can. Those paintings you can't. I don't know. I don't know exactly how those two things are programmed. Because in a lot of senses, the game sees them as being the same thing. Arrow drops as an adult will be seed drops as a child. And then
what is going on with this fight here? It was
just ISG, and I was having a little trouble with him. Stalfos are normally like pretty tough. You don't typically have as many hearts as I do, so you usually have like maybe 3 or 4.
No, there was a big hole in the floor, and you kept not falling through it.
Oh, well, that was the ISG.
Oh yeah.
You can't fall off the ledges when you have it active.
No, the Stalfos wasn't falling.
Oh yeah, they just float. I'm sorry. Yeah, they just float. I don't know.
Really?
that's just what they do. At least for that room.
I completely forgot that. All right.
Okay, so take a close look at the bow chest. Sorry.
Right.
Look at the bottom of it.
It's floating.
Yeah, it's floating. Something that's really hard to see as an adult because he's so much bigger and like the floor texture kind of hides it. But the bow chest is actually floating off the ground. Kind of weird. But we opened it up. There's a bow in here.
All right.
Yeah, so not too hard to get as a child. Just again, kind of tedious. A lot of bombs necessary. A lot of hovering.
Right. And you can't use.
And I didn't have any strength upgrade to push those blocks, which has made it a little worse. So I had to do that. But we got the bow. We got our full inventory basically.
So you're back down to 4 bottles, which is a shame.
Yeah, but we got most of the stuff. But we got a little more time left, so I just wanted to show off one more thing. I'm going to open up this chest, which if you remember has the odd mushroom in it. To get my adult trade item back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to get the Bigoron sword.
Alright.
So, well, not just this. I'm going to do the Bigoron quest. But it's just I need to get an adult trade item back because I overwrote the other one with a bottle.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and I can't start like back in it, like anywhere.
Because they won't give it to you, right? So.
Yeah, no, I have to basically get this unauthorized trade item. And
why is there a mushroom in that chest? So that was in one of the earlier videos, but
no one knows, I think. Like this is something I don't know, but like even people who know more about this game don't know. It's just a big mystery about Ocarina of Time about why there's a mushroom in that chest.
Because they would have had to put it there, but I don't know why they would have put it there.
It's pretty, or it looks pretty obvious that they had planned something for Gerudo Fortress as a child, because there's a heart piece too that they left in there.
Right.
So it could be a remnant of that, but exactly why it's there, yeah, I don't know. Very weird. But I did also get it on my C button, using a trick I did show off before, where I got the spooky mask on an adult C button, which you're not supposed to have. I used the same trick to get this mushroom on my child button.
Okay.
And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get the odd potion as a child, too, for something that's possible. Normally you're supposed to give the mushroom to the old lady in that potion shop there.
Right,
but,
yeah, right. And then...
Yeah, but it's closed...
And then you have to go and take it to the guy.
Yeah, but it's closed as a child. Like, you can't get in there, like, through the door. But we got another way in there as a child.
Now, I mean, if I remember rightly, when you get the odd potion, it gives you a timer for it, right? So...
When you get the mushroom, yeah, it's supposed to.
Okay.
But getting it from the chest, it doesn't trigger that timer.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. But I want to trade... once I have it, I can trade it, but I need to get into the shop, and it's a bit complicated. What I'm actually doing is pulling out a Bombchu and then backflipping off of it to get a Mega Flip.
Okay.
And then while I'm backflipping, I'll pull out another Bombchu. I'll get shoved through the stairs out of the level, right next to the potion shop, make that other Bombchu I took out explode, and then have that damage me into the loading zone, basically, of the potion shop.
How do people find these things? How do people figure out you can do that?
I think this one, it's kind of easy to clip out of bounds. Like, if you were just to sort of goofing around, I think you could probably accidentally hit this. From there, I think someone probably just did a lot of practice to figure out that you could be damaged into it like that.
And there you go.
See, I'm, like, inside the door, and I can just walk into the loading zone.
Alright. And then you can go and do the rest of it. That makes sense.
Yep, they don't distinguish. As long as you show it to them, they can't tell if you're a child or anything. I mentioned that you could show the poacher saw to the guy as a child too.
Yeah, which is something that like you can do in the normal game, right? Because you can just take it to that guy. But
yeah, well, you can't not as a child. Well, you can do it as a child in normal game, but it's really hard. Because I can't actually trade this odd potion to get the saw. The person who does that either doesn't act the same, is actually one of the things that doesn't act the same as a child, or that specific actor doesn't load as a child ever. I don't know. But you can't trade the potion for the saw anywhere.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what are you gonna do? You have to go back and be an adult again?
Yeah, and right now what I'm gonna do is, normally every time I'm gonna BA again, put something on my B button, and then so far every time I've done that, I use like the number of Deku nuts I have, right? I used and it's been like 14, 17, 13, low numbers. Right now I'm actually BA with the odd potion, and that uses like the stones I have. It uses the Gerudo's card, the Stone of Agony, and the bite that it's sort of pointing to right now is actually much higher than anything I've ever done so far. The value I have right now is 125 on the odd potion bite.
So that would be like in equipment items, is that?
That's farther than that. What actually happens, I'm in items that aren't ever actually used in the game, basically. So when I go adult, I'll have item number 125 on my B button, and it looks like a bunch of gibberish.
Oh yeah,
garbage.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite item from Ocarina of Time.
And what that actually is the Japanese text for Haunted Wasteland, according to the list I use. So I don't know. And if you saw, when I used it, when I pressed B, it looked like eyedrops. And I mentioned in a bonus video, I thought that it was because like any non-standard item looks like eyedrops, but it's actually weirder than that. Starting from a certain point, every fourth item acts as eyedrops, and then every item in between those, like midway between all those, acts as like sticks, and then every other item crashes the game.
So could you go and use it like the eyedrops?
Sorry, excuse me. Well, that's about what I'm going to do.
Oh, okay.
So, normally after you show him the Broken Magoron sword,
yeah,
he gives you the prescription, and you take that, get the frog,
right.
Go get the eyedrops that way. But after I show him the Broken Magoron sword, well, yeah. So when he pulls it out, it looks like eyedrops. So I just show this to him, this weird item, and he does accept it as eyedrops.
That's so
I just
bizarre.
skip that part of the quest.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, and again, I don't know why it acts as eyedrops specifically. Very, very weird. I don't know.
I would love to find out though. You know.
Yeah, and again, every fourth item does it. So like 125, if you subtract 4 every time, you'll get a bunch of items that'll act as eyedrops.
So there's no dummied out items that you can get or anything like that. It's not.
I don't know specifically what you mean by that. Sorry.
Well, like things that they took out of the game, but that you can actually use. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, there's nothing like useful things that you can use now.
Right.
Yeah, but that lets us get the Magoron sword without having to do the entire trading quest. I still did a lot of it again, anyways.
That's true. There you go.
But that's it. Just wanted to show off I got the Magoron sword, and that'll be the end of this video. A lot of stuff done though.
Yeah.
Did Jabu, bow, and Magoron sword. So hope everyone enjoyed that. But thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye.